The SideQuest live on a February night, a snowy February night here in Michigan. I don't know where it is by you, JJ. Is it probably mild and rainy?
Yes, that's exactly the right way.
It could be worse. It could be on fire like it was all of last year. But at least it's not that. But I'm Dolly. That's JJ. You know us by now. To quote our dear friend Jeff Grubb, it's the internet. You're busy. Let's get on with it. There isn't a lot of news this week, so there's not a lot to get on with. So but we will start with some of the news. I did want to say, how's your week going, JJ? Everything good? Good?
It's doing fine. Very work has morale is up. Things are good right now at work.
That's good.
So we're all doing real good. We had shit was real bad at work for the last year. Oh, we dubbed it the Dark Ages. And to celebrate sort of the end of that, because it finally just wrapped up, and so now we went as a lab and played mini golf and sat in a bowling alley bar bullshitting and jello shots and all that good stuff.
That's awesome. That is totally the way to do it.
So now morale is at an all-time high, probably. So
that's
we're doing good. We're doing
That's
good.
Awesome.
Only downhill from here.
It's true. It's only down. It's better to be in second place, because if you're in first place, everyone's gunning for you.
Yeah. So. Our governor announced today that on the 1st, you don't need vaccination report cards to get into big events anymore, and the 21st, they're getting rid of the mask mandate. So.
They're just forcing things to go endemic. Like, you know what? Let's just call it endemic now.
Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, as badly as you don't want to admit it, this is as good as it's gonna get.
Yep. I mean, really, at this point, and we're obviously, we don't work for the CDC. The only crazy Dolly company. But get vaccinated and get boosted if you can, and then the rest is up. Whether you're religious or not religious, the rest is up to God. It's up to Cthulhu. It's up to whoever else. You can no longer control other people. It's just get yourself situated and your family situated, and then you just got to go from there.
You just got to go. I mean, I'm getting on a plane for the first time in a couple of months here.
Same here. That's the biggest news of the week. Actually, was JJ and I booking flights to PAX East for some pretty good rates, actually.
Yes, I told everyone what my airfare was, and they were blown away, because it's not a quick flight for me. It's a 6-hour flight from here to Boston, and it was under $300.
Do you have a stopover somewhere, or
no direct flights? Yeah, so
That's wild.
That's the first time I'm doing
6 hours. Is it the time?
6.5 hours? Yeah, no, the flight time altogether is 6.5 hours.
Oh wow, that's wild. Yeah, mine's an hour and 40 minutes from Detroit to Boston. But I guess you're right. I keep forgetting, from Detroit to I guess that would make sense. From Detroit to LA, it's about 4 hours. Detroit to Seattle, and then there's so it's about 6. Okay,
the flight
I get it now.
The flight I do all the time is from here to Orange County, California, and it's about 2.5 hours.
What could be in that area? I have no idea what's down.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm. There you go. You joined the LA Rams down there. So they're going to Disneyland. You're like, I'm gonna meet you guys there. I'm gonna get that real estate property that
Disney
revealed.
Yeah,
the real life metaverse.
Story living. Yeah.
The Mickeyverse.
Boy, I wish. We're gonna have to. We'll get to it in a minute of what we've been playing. I'll talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it. I will say, we did talk about the Nintendo Direct last week.
I wasn't,
and you weren't here, so I do want to get your thoughts on some of the Nintendo Direct stuff, because Zach and Taylor and I talked about it, and there was a lot of cool stuff we were excited about. But what, you had retro games out the wazoo, remade retro games, Live Alive or Live Alive.
Live Alive. Live Alive is obviously, when they announced that, me and Zach kind of simultaneously just lost our shit in the Discord. That's a wild thing to exist. It's one of those things where I never would have thought to ask for it. So It never was like on my bingo card. Like, why would I ask Nintendo to get the exclusive to the the timed exclusive or whatever it's going to be to the remake of a game that never came out here? Like, it's you know, I obviously immediately started playing Earthbound again the second they announced that. I'm not that Onion article where it's a person excited to play, Earthbound fan excited to play for the first time. I mean, I can't afford to own a physical copy, but I do own a copy of Mother 2. So
cool.
Like I like boxed
which is Earthbound.
Which is Earthbound. Yeah, it's a boxed copy complete with the manual and everything.
That's the wild thing about and we'll get into this in a little bit with the actual other news. But you can go to Japan and buy retro games everywhere, and people don't. I mean, there's just tons of them, and
the market,
the prices are.
Yeah, the market for retro stuff, it doesn't exist in Japan like it does here, and it's different in other countries because, like, you know, like Australia, they have like games in general cost a lot there, and so much stuff was like banned there, outright banned and stuff. So like the retro game market's
all those Yoshi games, man.
But as a person that's like a collector, I've been sort of driven out of collecting right now.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible right now. I started getting into the GameCube collecting stuff at the start of the pandemic, like just before it started. And as of right now, it's a mess. GameCube stuff. It's like I got some good stuff at a good price, and like what was it, like the Strikers for the GameCube. It's like a $90 game now.
Wow.
It's like Paper Mario is like $100. You know, if I wanted to get Smash Brothers, you know, obviously was already an expensive game, and it's getting more and more. The Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes is going for a ridiculous amount of money. It's gotten impossible to like. I think one of the most valuable games on the GameCube is the Pokemon Coliseum, like the gold and silver one, like the Gale or whatever that one was. That game's almost a couple $100 now if you wanted to get a copy of it. It's ridiculous. So I've been driven back into comic book collecting because it's a little more reasonable right now, and I like to focus my attention on one thing. You can't see it because it's all blurred out, but I have those Spider-Man ones hanging up right here.
I saw you post about those.
They're great.
So what? You had some of those kind of classic games that you never thought would arrive. So that's pretty cool.
You know, what else was there? Mario. The Strikers. 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 That game doesn't look that great. It seems weird. It's like I'm excited for it because I like Strikers. Like the GameCube game's genuinely fantastic. But this one, just something seemed off about it. I guess I don't know how I feel about it. I need to see more of like.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I need to see more. Because if you
remember, like when that tennis game came out for like the Wii U, and then it turned out it was just a tennis game. Like there was no bells and whistles to it. It had like 3 courses.
Mario Tennis. It was not good.
Yeah. So it's like I hope it's closer to the golf game where they've like the golf game's fine. I don't think it's the best Mario Golf game, but at least they did something with the formula. That speed golf thing is at least interesting. It's kind of cool. And it has kind of a vague story mode going on. It's not the best, but it's there. So I have to complete.
I'll hop back into that. I'm the same way. I do hope they do a little bit, because we definitely haven't heard the last of this game. It's not like you. Whenever companies release a lot of this stuff, especially Nintendo, you don't hear the majority of the information until and modes and stuff until closer to release. But let's go Playland. Playland and I had a really good conversation, which I'll get to it in a little bit. But other companies, other publishers, a lot of them, you kind of know what you get. I mean, when they first announced there's a new Horizon game coming out, you thought, okay, I know exactly what this is going to be. When there's a new Last of Us, I know exactly what. It's not like they're going to add a new mode, but
why does she? Why does she have a beard, Dally? Why does she have the beard?
I have no idea. But no, I loved Strikers Charged. What is fantastic? Such a cool game, and I am interested to see what happens with this game. I'm always glad there's new Strikers games. I was surprised that they remembered they had this series out there, but
yeah, I really thought we'd seen the last of Strikers, honestly, because it was just like, you know, the Wii, there was a Wii version. There's a Wii.
Yeah, there's a Wii Strikers Charged.
Yeah, Strikers Charged. Yeah, and Strikers, the GameCube one is such a good game.
Okay, I never played the GameCube one.
Yeah, so. It's a little more grounded than Charged or whatever, but and Luigi does Waluigi does the crotch chop in it when he wins, which is the funniest thing in the world, because it's like this is a Nintendo game, and it's like, that's not anything other than you can't misconstrue it as him doing that, and that only means one thing. It's not like it's some sort of like, well, in this country it means but yeah, and I guess, you know, Switch Sports is one of those things that I definitely want, and I will play the hell out of it, and I will enjoy it, but I absolutely do not want to spend $60 on it, but I have no choice.
Well, no, it's not going to be $60. Like, they did drop that. It's like 50.
Yeah, but still, point remains. 50 is still a lot.
Should be 40 for that game. And
especially
I find
it's like not done. Like they and we'll add golf in like 3 months or whatever.
And we're gonna add actual soccer in the soccer game that you're gonna have. I don't like. They have the games that they have included, which is the baseball. They have the sword fighting and like from the original ones, and bowling, which are legit. Those are the 3 games that everybody played. Everyone loved those from Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports Resort, by the way, is actually pretty fantastic. If you haven't played
like it's Wii Sports was good. Wii Sports Resort was fantastic.
Yes,
like it's just that
Wii Sports was like literally a pack-in demo. Wii Sports Resort was the this is what it can actually be. But
it's funny that in Japan it was the other way around. They had to buy Wii Sports and they got Wii Play.
Yeah, it's wild. They got Wii Play. That's right, Wii Play. Yeah, so many Wii name things. But so those 3 games that are great. But then you got volleyball, which I don't know. I'm not sold on volleyball. I'm not sold on that weird soccer thing that you got to strap to your leg. It doesn't seem like very social group friendly, the soccer game.
Because the soccer game absolutely looks like it was gonna be in like that. Remember that the Wii, was it like Wii U game that just had like the ninja star throwing thing that was like kind of like that was basically WarioWare. Like clearly it was supposed to be a full-blown WarioWare game, but like it feels like it's the same thing. Like WarioWare started off as something that it then ended up being like Get It Together, and it's like, well, we still have this kind of functional soccer thing that we can't put anywhere. So
I really feel like
maybe it was cut from Wii Fitness. Like it was like, it's like we can't make this work in Wii Fitness, so let's just, or maybe there was like
Ring Fit. They couldn't figure out.
Ring Fit. Or maybe it was like part of like a Labo thing that they were gonna do at some point or something. Like it just feels like it was something else, because it's so simple even for Wii Sports, and it's so gimmicky even for Wii Sports. I know it's Switch Sports, but Wii Sports gets the
and the actual soccer portion of it doesn't launch till like sometime in the summer, and then golf doesn't launch till fall or something crazy like that. I can't remember what it was.
Those were the only 2 that people cared about was golf and bowling, and
but in Wii Sports Resort the disc toss was actually kind of cool. The disc toss was pretty badass. And then they actually have like some water sports stuff there too.
Now hear me out. You get the Wii Sports Resort and you have the disc toss game, and it's a 2-player game. You put somebody on the other side of you.
Yes.
And there's a court in between you, and there's a net, and you have to bank it off the walls. And
I know where this is. I know where this is going.
Doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound like the
wonderful.
Perfect game?
Sounds like the Goaty. Sounds like the game of the year.
So good news. It already exists. It's called Windjammers and Windjammers 2, and it's available now.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey JJ, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Windjammers 2. There, walking in. Walking in. Then they actually had that Wii Sports Club for the Wii U.
Yes.
Do you remember that game? Which was just like this weird. You got like the app for free, and then like you bought the game. It was just really poorly set up.
I'm a Nintendo guy. I'm a video game guy.
We're video game guys.
I don't do any of the shit. I just, as long as it's functional, I can get some sort of enjoyment out of pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, I can.
Even if it's bad, at least you'll understand.
Yeah, but like the Wii U just had all of these things that like. I never touched that. I never touched that Wii U sports thing. I don't know why. It's definitely something I like, but it's just like by the time the Wii U was getting to that point, it was clear that the Wii U was done.
Well,
like,
save your Wii U thoughts. What else from the direct?
This was the first time where I saw Kirby and was like, I'm ready for this game. I'm ready for Kirby.
This is the first time. So for me, the more I kind of ruminated on this over the last week after we spoke after the direct.
Yeah.
Up until now, Kirby was always he was like a B tier hero because he wasn't Mario, he wasn't Zelda. It's not Zelda. It's not even F-Zero was sort of A tier, Mario Kart, that kind of stuff. It always felt like they're just gonna pump out Kirby games because they're just very easy side scrolling and they're all they are all the same. This one felt like it still looks like it still keeps that Kirby-ness to it, but now going to a 3D, like it basically looks like the Super Mario 3D World engine is what it looks like.
It looked like it was an actual like platforming game, like a legitimate Nintendo platforming game this time around.
This could turn Kirby into Kirby up to low A tier, I think, in Nintendo.
There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be the best-selling Kirby game of all time.
Right.
Just like how Metroid Dread was the best-selling, because it's like these are always these sort of like mediocre. I will have to look up the numbers, or maybe you can at some point. I would have to assume that the Super Nintendo ones, either the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy one, have to be because those are the two. Everyone I knew had the Game Boy game of Kirby, and the Super Nintendo one was just sort of like the Kirby Superstar was just sort of it was a thing. It was just like,
here you go, ready?
The
highest of all time, Kirby's Dreamland. That was Game Boy with like 5 million, because everybody had it. That was essentially the debut of Kirby. Was that game? So that was 5 million. That's the highest one because it's the very first one, right?
Yeah.
The second, surprisingly, is Kirby Star Allies on the Switch at 3.15 million. There have been a couple of remakes here and there, but what was the drawing one on the DS?
Canvas
Curse only sold like not even a little bit over 500,000. Didn't sell very
much. That Kirby sort of becomes this weird sort of experimentation thing for Nintendo, like because like I think Kirby Pinball predates any of the other like mascot pinball games. And there was the Kirby golf game on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true, right?
And you had, Superstar.
Dream Course, right? It was Dream Course.
Dream Course. And Superstar was a weird game because it was like a bunch of mini games kind of hobbled together as a full feature-length game and everything, like the minecart racing thing or whatever. Where the Kirby Gourmet Race song like is big. And what else? There was another weird. Like Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn, which is still fantastic.
Yeah, it's still fantastic, but clearly it's like, Epic Yarn was successful. We're not going to give it a sequel. We're just going to hand that off to Yoshi.
Yeah.
And just sort of give Yoshi the fabric aesthetic. And
Epic Yarn, we don't know the exact numbers, but that thing didn't even crack 500,000 either. So for the DS, sorry, the 3DS version. But Kirby. There you go. If it's too weird for everything else, leave it to Kirby.
Exactly. It's clearly where they test some things out from time to time. Like it's clearly just like this thing where it's like, well, what if you drew on the screen to direct the character? And then like next thing you know, March of the Minis is coming out and it's doing the same fucking thing that Canvas Curse was doing, just without the paint aesthetic or whatever.
Yep. So there was, they showed more of Splatoon 3 with the Horde mode. Yeah. Which that is secretly again one of the best Horde modes out there, the Salmon Run. The Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which
full voice acting, which I don't
full whatever. Yeah. And the more I think of it, I get it now. It looks like little like army men toys. Like it's supposed to look like
I just
digital board game.
I just wish it was a little more plasticine looking if that was the way they were going. Like,
yep. Just go all out. Exactly.
Yeah, just lean into the aesthetic. Like that's so what Nintendo's good at, and so
yeah. I'm curious to see what this ends up like. I mean, I have it pre-ordered, but we'll see what what we do with it. Then there was also let's see here. You had, like I said, we live alive, whatever. We had Front Mission remakes.
Yeah, that was weird. I like that.
That was weird. That was cool. Awesome. They looked great.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 9. 9. Yeah. No, it's
that's a good post title.
Thank you.
That was a good post.
I was saving that one. No, I mean, we kept hearing that Mario Kart 9's in the works. It will likely be announced this year. Everybody get all those, that you really have to be careful with insiders in that respect. Like, they do hear things. They're granted, Mario Kart 9 is being developed.
Oh yeah, it's clear
for sure.
I'm sure you mentioned it last week. I don't listen to the show. Who does?
I don't even. I'm on it. I don't remember. I don't remember this episode that I'm on right now.
But I'm sure the words were said that there's been no clearer indication that Mario Kart 9 is a Switch 2 game at this point.
Correct.
Like,
yeah. So. Completely. You need some game to kick off. What's really interesting about this is that this Mario Kart announcement, maybe more than anything else, clouds the release schedule for the Switch and the Switch 2. And what I mean by that is you can they're going to have either a Zelda or a Mario this year. You have the Mario movie, so you have to put something Mario out because you're going to capitalize on it. If the movie still is in December, that could get pushed. I wouldn't be surprised that gets pushed around.
Yeah. But there hasn't been a whole lot of movie delay announcements lately. So I'm assuming there must be some reason. Like, there's going to be delays, and I just don't know. It's like there's going to be like a deluge of delays at some point.
Yeah,
so.
it'll for sure.
Yeah.
But I expect a Mario game to come out around the time, whatever level it is, even if it's a repackaging, which they might end up doing. They might be saving Mario Galaxy 2 for that. Who knows? But I'm
surprised that hasn't been a DLC download at this point. It's kind of
well, we'll get into that. Yeah. So. And then Breath of the Wild 2, right? Weirdly more and more I'm thinking we may actually see Breath of the Wild 2 this year because their first half of the year is all the stuff they announced, very heavy. There's a lot. There's Mario Kart. There's you got Kirby. You got the Switch Sports stuff. You're hitting casuals. You're hitting sort of the core. You announced Xenoblade, which is like September. Which is just like the beginning of the fall season. So you're going to have a pretty strong back half. And so it almost feels like they're kind of airing a bunch of stuff out right now to just get the last of the Switch. And then you can launch a Switch 2 next year. I still think 2023, March timeframe, somewhere around there, March, April, with a Switch 2. And you launch with Mario Kart, with whatever new Mario. Well, let me rephrase that. You got all these tracks coming by the end of 2023, they announced. So they said all these new tracks coming by the end of 2023. So Mario Kart 9 is not going to be on this current. If it is, it'll be a very scaled down version of it. I think it's, Do you want
to know? I honestly believe in my heart of hearts at this point, and I was reading an old, either an EGM or Game Pro the other day, and there was like a Quarterman or one of those rumor mill things.
Oh yeah, Quarterman.
And they were talking about the next Mario Kart after Mario Kart 64 is going to be including other Nintendo characters. And so keep in mind, this is 1997, 98. It's got to be Super Smash Kart by the next time around. Because if you're going to make Mario Kart 8 this sort of all-encompassing game,
Mario Kart 8 Ultimate Edition,
where it's going to have, you've got all of these characters in it. It's got you've tinkered with the idea because Link's in there and Isabelle's in
Animal
there.
Crossing,
and all that stuff. And it's going to have, I mean, they're adding 48 tracks on top of the tracks that are already there. So
on top of the 48 that are already there, they're adding 48 more.
So your next game, you can't do the same bullshit, because that's the thing Nintendo's been doing with the Mario Kart stuff. It's like, here's our 10 new tracks, and here's 10 remade tracks for this game. Like the DS game was doing it, and they just keep doing it for all of them. That's just the way they do it now. You can't do that then with Mario Kart 9, whatever that is, because I can still play the Switch games, I'm assuming, on the Switch. So weird cannibalizing thing. So it makes me think it's going to have to be a new game.
Sure.
And there's and to do a new game is to have it be like a Super Smash thing and have the courses be based off of all of these characters. Not just, there has to be like a Metroid course, more Hyrule courses, more of all this, like not just limited to, Wii Sports Resort course or whatever,
Castlevania course.
Yeah.
This is where you do get into the third party.
Yeah. So so you branch out into, so the courses aren't just limited to the stuff. I've already seen these. We've done these. How many more Nintendo courses can you do based off of Mushroom Kingdom properties or whatever?
Sure.
So it would make sense that they're just like, this is the fair. It's like how the next Super Smash Brothers is probably going to be like a relaunch, because they kind of just get their big fare thee well, everyone. And so
I agree with you.
Yeah. So it makes sense that
based off ready?
Of this. Yeah, here we go.
Here's my idea, and I think this could be kind of awesome. Yeah. Mario Kart Royale, in which there are listen. There are 100 cars, 64 cars. There's 64 cars on a course, on a track. You got these right now where everyone's in love with the battle modes. The battle modes are kind of cool in Mario Kart. They've been a staple. They finally brought them back for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Give me a battle royale on a super long track that maybe the track spans a few of the extra Mario Kart. Maybe it's like you go through Hyrule, you go through Animal Crossing World, you go through whatever. And every lap that you make it through, the bottom, 10 people or 20 people or 30 people get dropped off. And maybe the bottom 10%. And you keep doing that till there's what was left.
What was Burnout?
Did Burnout do that?
Burnout had eliminator races. So
an eliminator race, exactly.
Who's ever at the back of the pack blew up. So whenever you cross the finish line, the second to last person to cross the finish line, the person behind them blows up.
Yes.
And that'd be cool. Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool with Mario Kart.
I was thinking with Mario Kart, do they do an open world racer that's so popular?
That could be really cool.
But I don't.
You don't need an open.
Mario is such a party game that just having menus goes a long way. It sort of destroys the sort of atmosphere of sit on the couch next to me and we're gonna fucking race. Meet me on the track, baby.
Job. Meet me on the track. You know what it could follow though. And it's a game that came out last year that I really enjoyed that I'm still kind of playing here and there. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels had an overworld in a way in which you went around. Yeah. It was really just the same tracks over and over again, but you interfaced with this map and you unlock things. I could really see that being it, much like the Smash Brothers. They had the mode in the most recent Smash Brothers. The
Mario Kart, mode. The Subspace Emissary.
Mario Kart where you're racing tracks. One thing they do that's really kind of cool with Mario Kart Tour is that you have your regular courses of this actually pretty bad game, but then every fourth course is almost like a boss course. It's like you'll either have a time trial, you have to beat this level or this track in under this amount of time, or you have a version where you have to knock out at least a certain amount of mini Goombas or the Bones Racers, or you have to do the race backwards, or you start off in 8th position with 1 lap to go and you have to win. I'd love to see an overworld, much like Smash Ultimate, where they had that map that you get to face off in different ways. That could actually be a very intriguing way to get some fun stuff with Mario, and then throw in a bunch of mini games. Have a soccer mini game like Rocket League. Throw
Rocket
that in
League
there.
Mario, yeah.
Rocket, throw stuff. Just have fun with it. I think you could actually do something. You could make it this big party game. But anyways,
make a Mario Kart exactly like Trackmania.
Yes, there you go. Music, yeah, I love it. All the different, yeah.
What was
rhythm Mario Kart level? Oh, dude, now there's something really kind of cool to that. Okay.
What was Super Mario Kart Maker, where you just design with all
tracks,
of the
share tracks. You're gonna see a lot of dongs out there. Remember Little Big Planet race cars, whatever that was.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah, they actually
where Sony tried a couple of times to do a mascot racers because you had that.
Yeah.
Little Big Planet Kart and Mod Nation Racers.
Mod Nation, yes.
Man.
And then let's see what else was there. There
was some Fire Emblem stuff that I didn't really
Fire Emblem.
like.
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross, yeah. I mean, it's Chrono Cross. I was always excited for Chrono Cross. And Chrono Cross is a beautiful game, so to have it be kind of prettied up. And yeah, go for it.
Xenoblade.
Yeah, I've never finished a Xenoblade game, so
I finished the very first one once or twice. I have it. That game. Remember, there was the Operation Rain or whatever that was that they tried to get those 3 RPGs.
Oh yeah, Operation Rainfall. It was Xenoblade. It was
Pandora's Tower.
Pandora's Tower and
Lost something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
I have all 3. I bought all 3 after Nintendo finally released them. By the way, bring back those other 2 games. Just port them. People would buy them. They're not great.
They go like I think Pandora's Tower in particular goes for a shit ton of money.
Does it really?
Because I think those games one of them
very low run,
and I think like maybe Pandora's or the other one was like GameStop exclusive.
Yes.
So it was the only way to get it. It's like Clay Fighter's Sculptor's Cut, where it's like, it was only available at Blockbuster. So,
so that's anyways. I've played Xenoblade on Wii, on Wii U,
the new 3DS.
Yeah, on the new 3DS. I haven't played it on the Switch yet, but it's been on 4 platforms because you download the Wii version on the Wii U, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe I might be mistaken, but I know you can play it on there. Anyways, so yeah, it's been on 4 platforms essentially.
Yeah, it's wild that's the game that took off and has become a relatively significant part of Nintendo's marketing for years now.
Yeah, Shulk was one of the first characters they announced for Smash for the Smash Brothers 4 for the Wii U. It's Shulk. Everyone thought, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think that was essentially the Xenoblade 3. So there's quite a bit of stuff coming. I mean, we didn't hear anything about Bayonetta. We didn't hear anything about Breath of the Wild 2. We didn't hear anything about Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which all these games are coming second half. You're gonna get Bayonetta supposedly this year and Mario and Rabbids this year.
Especially with what's going on with Platinum right now, there's fucking
who knows? But I mean, you could have a pretty solid fall. I mean, it sounds like Nintendo has something one thing a month that.
Do you know what? There's got to be a new Donkey Kong game, right?
I've heard things. I've heard there's a new Donkey Kong game.
Because last year was a significant anniversary for Donkey Kong that Nintendo didn't celebrate in the slightest. Donkey Kong is what created this company.
Was it 40th?
Yeah, it was his 40th anniversary because it was 1981.
Yep.
So it got nothing. Donkey Kong got jack shit. Pokemon, I think, got more than that for obvious reasons. I mean, it's Pokemon, but there's without Donkey Kong, there's no Pokemon.
Right. Give me a Donkey Kong and Popeye crossover. That's what I want.
We go. That Switch. There's a Switch game that is that Popeye game is a 3D remake of the arcade game.
My lord!
It's shit. It's terrible, but it's crazy that it exists. But just give me the Donkey Kong Country. The last 2 that you made were great, man. Just give me it, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is being developed. I have heard that there's a new Donkey Kong game that's not Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know any details about it. I'd love
Donkey Kong King of Swing 2.
King of Swing 2. Donkey Konga. I'd love Donkey Kong 99. I think Donkey Kong 99, where you're just climbing an endless tower, would be fantastic. Or 94. Was it 94 or 97? Which one was the Game Boy
94,
one?
the Game Boy one, which is the single,
so good.
I like that game more than Donkey Kong Country, and I know that's blasphemy, but
no, you're right. It's better than Donkey Kong Country.
I love that it starts off with Donkey Kong. Like you have to play through original Donkey Kong, and then when you get to the end, and it's just like, and now here's this. You're like, whoa!
Like, wait a minute. That's nothing. That's like the 4% of this giant game.
It's also very funny that the Game Boy version of Donkey Kong has all 4 levels from the arcade, and then the NES version only had 3. Okay, let's move on from Nintendo. You got me into my wheelhouse, so it's
Well, I mean, thankfully we'll be able to play all these games. You can play Donkey Kong 94 forever. Just download it from your 3DS. You can download it whenever you want.
Between now and what was it, like April 1st or something?
May was it March of 2023? But March you have to pay by the end of May.
Of this year, not next year.
So I think there was a thread that I posted in the Discord, in the SideQuest Discord. Check it out. It's actually a very good thread. It's about it's from a tech dude, somebody who's like knowledgeable about IT and server, unlike Taylor. That's Taylor's job. That they had a really good point in that aging tech that is not updated, which Nintendo does. They're still on Windows 98, right? Yeah. They're using these very old payment methods. They're using very old server hardware and architecture, and it makes it incredibly difficult to keep this stuff running without spending a lot of money. I mean, it is legit. Like, I know we have our servers just at the office that we're keeping alive is like $100,000 a year just to keep old data. Yeah, you could transfer that to new servers, but then you have to rebuild structures. You have to pay somebody thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, for us as a company that has to hold on this stuff because we're a automotive supplier to another company, we have to keep it. But for a publisher like Nintendo, Microsoft's done it, Sony's done it, Sega's done it. Every company does this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't fault Nintendo for making this decision. I fault Nintendo for not forward thinking and letting people have access to this stuff in a more regular way.
Thank you. That's the point.
Microsoft does a good job at sort of offering as best as they can. Yep. Sony, it's hit or miss with Sony. They did a good job for a bit. Like the PlayStation 1 stuff, they did a lot of PlayStation 1 work, digitizing that stuff to give you the access to play it on your PlayStation 3s,
3 and 2,
your Vitas and 2s, like everything up to there. Like they and Sony, better than Nintendo, doesn't really go after people.
No,
that's sort of the advantage to Sony. Is Sony isn't attacking people for downloading an ISO of fucking Pandemonium or whatever fucking game came out on the place. They're not making Siphon filters anymore. I think today is like the 25th anniversary of the original Siphon filter.
Today, probably.
And because I think I saw a tweet today, and it's just like, there's no preservation going on from Nintendo in any significant way. It's always just, to Nintendo, these retro games are just a product and not really, it's the same as any sort of snack food that's gone discontinued over the last, 30 years.
Crystal Pepsi, the 8 times we've had it back.
Yeah, so like you get to have it when Nintendo deems it acceptable for you to have it, and that includes like they're going after people that are offering these things that you can. There are games that were on the Wii that are gone forever. So many weird little things. Konami did that whole Rebirth series.
Castlevania and
there's Castlevania, Gradius, and Contra.
Contra.
You had 3 really good remakes. Castlevania in particular was a total remake of Castlevania 2, and it was phenomenal. And the only way to get that is if you already had it and it's still downloaded on your Wii or Wii U.
Yep.
Or if you go to archive.org and type in Wii Shop, you get
WiiWare or whatever it was.
Yeah, WiiWare. You get the entire list of everything that was ever on the WiiWare, including DLC and Guitar Hero tracks. So, but Nintendo doesn't want you to do that because you're taking no money out of their pocket, and how dare you? It's
and that's the frustrating thing. Again, yeah. I'm actually all for them shutting down these. No one's playing Wii U. Yeah. Very few people are. I know there was a little bit of a spike for the 3DS at the beginning of the pandemic. People started hopping back online because guess what? They couldn't get a hold of Switches and they wanted to play Nintendo games. People, right when the pandemic hit, the Switch was the hottest commodity, and they weren't selling 3DSs anywhere. You had to go on secondhand shops. People were buying whatever they could.
Yeah, you still can't get a 3DS. They're pretty much out of stock. Like I've been trying to get another one just because.
Same. I want to get one of the original. I have the new 2DS XL, but I want to get the original 3DS again, which will be like my 3rd or 4th or 5th one with the actual 3D in it. But people bought them and they actually hopped back online to play a few games. That has died. So that was a very momentary blip in time. Nobody's on those things. But. So I do, again, I don't fault them. I say shut it down because if you can save money, and again, we don't know how these corporations work. It's not like we're saying that you're going to save somebody's job and be able to pay somebody by shutting down these 10 servers. But at the same time, it is money that Nintendo can save. And for, again, the 6 people that care about one little game on the Wii U doesn't make buy it. You're not going to get that sale, but. And this is what you and I agree. It's you're losing all of this. Yeah. You're losing the ability to buy this content legally.
There is a 0% chance a game like Liberation Maiden is going to make its way anywhere ever again. Two of my favorite games on the 3DS were Pushmo and Crashmo.
Oh, they're so great.
Those were great games. Where are those going to exist now? Nowhere. They're not going to port those games to the Switch. They don't even really work that way because they're designed to have a depth perception and everything.
Correct.
The 3D stuff is gone. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Pocket Jockey.
Pocket Jockey
which is a phenomenal game.
Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the top 10 3DS games, maybe top 5.
Top 5.
That game rules.
High praise, yes.
And the fact that should just come to the Switch. There is nothing holding it back other than I understand that it was like the dual screen situation, but I don't care. Give me that fucking game in some other way.
I'm gonna take this even a step further. It's okay that. In a way, it's okay that you don't sell these games anymore. You say, listen, we put these products out there. We only intended to ever sell them on this platform. Okay, I can understand that. Yeah. The part that bugs me about this whole thing is that I'm an artist. I want my art exposed to as many people, even if I'm not making money on it anymore. I think I even mentioned in the Discord, game devs want their games to be played by as many people as possible. The majority of the game devs don't even care. Once they get paid for it, they don't necessarily care about the money aspect. Yeah. Nintendo and Sony does this as well to some extent too. And there are other publishers that, Capcom, I think, is similar. They are dead set against allowing museums, allowing institutions, allowing collector groups from allowing them to have access to this. I want a video game museum or a video game playland. Yeah. I want to go to a game museum in Seattle, run the America's Game Museum, let's call it, AGM, where they have every 3DS game available. It's on a server. You have the 3DSs sitting out there. They can legally let you play these games. That would be awesome. I'm okay with that because not everybody owns the Mona Lisa. That's fine. Yeah. That to me would be completely.
Yeah,
to me, it would be acceptable. Give me access to this stuff.
Like none of us own a Picasso, but we've all seen one.
Yeah,
we've all been and actually witnessed a fucking like painting, or we've witnessed dinosaur bones.
I
have gone.
I haven't cloned one yet.
I have gone to. If you've been to Seattle, they have MoPop, which is the Museum of Pop Culture, and there you can see things that have like gone away or whatever. Like there is a little video game thing there, but it's all indie stuff. It's not like it's not like it's showing you anything of any real like, you know, historical significance or whatever. But like Nintendo has created, you know, Atari did its thing and all that stuff, but Nintendo really created video games. Like what we think of as video games, like with Super Mario, it is story driven. It's not points driven. It is there's a direct goal and all that stuff. Like what we think of as video games, Nintendo made it a zeitgeist. You know, and to have them sort of just, if you wanted to legally red tape. What the fuck? What the fuck does legally mean on the thing?
What does it mean anymore? Who knows?
What about the thing that I'm about to say? Nintendo created a little blip in the past, the Virtual Boy.
Yes.
It did a lot of firsts for Nintendo in a lot of ways. You know, there was 3D. It was Wario's first solo game. It was like Mario Tennis. That was the first Mario Tennis game. All of this shit that is just fucking gone. It's like I have. Do you know how much it costs to get some of these Virtual Boy games? Like
it's insane.
Like if I wanted to get fucking the I forget, like the Tetris game, it's like $250 for this fucking Tetris game. Or I can download it on off of archive.org again. The entire 18 game library. Somebody created a emulator for the Oculus. You can put the headset on and play these Virtual Boy games as intended in 3D, and you can even change the color if you wanted to, so you can like make it less blinding, but like
less blinding red.
Yeah, but this is the only way I'm allowed to do this, is to download these things from, in some cases, sketchy ass websites. Like Archive is fine, but there's not a lot of checks and balances for a lot of that stuff anyway.
Future developers that will be at Nintendo, and probably several developers that are at Nintendo now have downloaded ROMs of Nintendo games that they can no longer get a hold of. And will download ROMs.
It's the most.
And then influence them to develop.
I'm gonna look at the tweet right now because the Video Game History Foundation.
That's who I was. That's literally what I was bringing up. And again, and that's why I say, I don't need to personally, physically own something. I want to play it. Me wanting to play something is a little bit of selfishness. It's like, but we all have that. It's like I want to be able to play Virtual Boy. At the same time, I would be okay. Like I'm going to this really cool Van Gogh exhibit. The Van Gogh exhibit that's been touring around the U.S.
Yeah, I keep getting Facebook ads to tell me.
Everyone's you probably got it because I bought tickets and we're linked in Facebook, so you're getting it. But no, it's this really cool event. I'm a huge Van Gogh fan. I don't own a single Van Gogh, but I am willing to go someplace to enjoy this Van Gogh. I would pay money to a Nintendo museum at NOA to be able to play every single Nintendo game or any other museum.
Nintendo Roadshow.
A roadshow. That kind of stuff, I think, is what is. Again, I don't have to necessarily own it, but make it available to everybody.
It's
in
very,
some way.
It's very sad because, like, I've shown you. I've talked about it a lot. I have a significant hardware collection.
You do. You propped up college for kids.
It's wild to, like, you know, look around and be like, I can just, like, theoretically I can play whatever, whether it's cost effective or not. Like, you know, as much as I would love to own Windjammers for my AES that I have, I'm not going to spend $800 to get the cart for Windjammers. But but I the potentials that I can at least do that if I wanted to. There's going to be games where that option, like in a sort of like realistic way, it's going to be a transaction, and now I can play these games. There's no way to do that for a lot of this stuff, and there's no like. It's just
well, I mean, that is one reason that I definitely buy cartridges.
Yeah,
I'm still buying physical media because of that. I've been burned on games. I've been burned on movies and music, and
there are very few movies that exist that you couldn't just get.
Yeah,
like very few movies. Only Disney ever did the out of print thing, and even that it was it was. The VHS still existed. You could go anywhere, and I could rent it. I could rent any movie I want by walking into a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. Even a movie that I didn't want, I'll look at it and see like, oh, look at that. That option's gone. Nintendo doesn't give you. They have this beautiful concept of this virtual console that is streaming libraries. It would take nothing just to have the entire Nintendo library at your fingertips for every single console. It could just be first party stuff, and that would be enough. Like, if they didn't have Capcom and Konami and Square games on those and just had every Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy game on this system that's streaming for the Switch, that's a brilliant concept. Because then it's like or even a rental system in place. Like, hey man, let me rent Nintendo's greatest hits for like the weekend or something. The options, like I can go to Vudu and download any John Woo movie I fucking want right now, and I pay a few bucks and I get it for 72 hours or whatever, or 2 weeks or whatever the thing is, or you have the option to buy it for 10. There needs to be that for video games where it's like the only reason anything should get pulled is because licensing. I don't expect.
I agree.
I don't expect WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, to be up there. But I do expect Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda.
But that game, the Kart, because Kart's Kart or whatever, a lot of these games still exist digitally somewhere. That can be in a museum.
Yes.
That can be somewhere where you can access and say,
you are presenting it in a historical context.
Exactly.
And you are, it's like, and it could be, you could just have like a rotating, like this month is the games of, whoever or whatever, and rotate them out. It doesn't have to be everything all the time.
That'd be fantastic.
Like, it's like how we have this, in Tacoma, there's a really huge car museum. There was a guy named Harold LeMay who was very popular around here, and he had a massive car collection. And his goal was to have a museum, and there's a museum right in my backyard, and he has one of the most significant car collections in the country, and you just cycle through them. Like this month is not this month as in right now, but I mean, like, I'm just hypothetical, like, the cars of Route 66 or something, like the halcyon days of the freeway driving or whatever. It's like, these are the fast cars and stuff like that. Like,
I do think we're going to get to a point where, much like, not Creative Commons, that's the word. Much like public domain with movies and music and other forms of art, we are going to get to a point where that becomes something for video games, right? Because it's an art form. It's interactive art. Even the old Madden games or whatever, they're going to be public domain eventually. I think at that point, you'll start to see some of this stuff start to bubble back in. But
it took a long time. I mean, think about how movies used to be.
Yeah.
There used to be the only way to see a movie when it was in theaters. If you're lucky enough and rich enough, you can maybe get a reel-to-reel in your own home.
Yep.
And then VHS came out and Betamax, and they were, they priced out people. Those things were very, very expensive in the early days. But eventually, everything's sort of like, now everyone has quick access to a VCR. And before you knew it, it was just like every studio had to have their movies available at any given time. It doesn't matter what shitty drive-in movie you saw in the 60s that nobody remembers Buckaroo Banzai until Buckaroo Banzai was made available again. Like, it was just like one person remembered it and showed it to their friend. It's like it.
Now, granted, there are some things that are going to be more difficult to have, like Connect games. motion games. You can't play. You obviously can't stream Wii Sports on your Xbox and think that it's going to work because you don't have the right controller. You can't even, like I said, you can't even use old Kinect games anymore, which is a bummer to me because I actually did like some of them. But again, that's where
the Fantasia game was very good.
The Fantasia game. Well, that was Harmonix, so that's why.
Yes.
But again, that's where stuff like museums and things like that can take with. And in the end, I think we're both saying it's okay to shut down these things because it is tough for the IT. It's manpower. It's it's a money hole. You are financially losing money by keeping them open, no matter how many sales you get. Because plus the security side with the way that pay processing, all that kind of stuff takes place. But at that point, there should be some way, again, like movies, like other artwork, where they're open to, like music, where they're open to at least showcasing and preserving some of these things for future generations who want to check it out. Not because remember the music, was it RIAA went through this for a long time, and I know music and movies they're static, right? It's either on or off. You play or you're not playing. It's ones and zeros. Games, there definitely is interactivity, especially with some of the hardware stuff. So it does make it a little more challenging depending on hardware you use, because you can't play whatever, like we said. But there are ways where you can.
I always forget how to pronounce Frank. I always forget how to pronounce Frank's last name.
Cifaldi.
Yeah, I think so. Like you
Great
see
guy.
him, he is doing fucking God's work out there. Some of the stuff he has released to the masses of like just this lost shit is impressive, and like there is like genuine effort to try to get a museum going, because remember, it was really cool for the longest time that you could just go into archive.org and load up all of those lost DOS games and just have them load up, and it was just, they're all public domain. Who the fuck cares? These are all just, nobody cares about Amazon Trail anymore. Nobody's making money off of that anymore. It's just go do it. But one day we'll get there.
One day. So yeah, hey, go ahead, shut it down, but somehow make these available for artists like me to show off.
It's not just put yourself at ease and realize that if there's a game that you want to play that isn't available in any other way, don't feel bad about doing what you have to do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Amazon. Are you for real? Anyways, we can move on to games we actually are playing. I'm gonna hop in right now real quick with something that's completely related to this.
Okay.
When this news broke, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go in and download all my Wii U and 3DS games that I had not downloaded. And so I opened up both the Wii U, the 3DS, and holy shit, I have a lot. I didn't realize how many games I had for both of these. I had a lot. The 3DS Ambassador program alone was pretty freaking awesome. Got tons of games. A lot of those never came to the regular eShop.
They never released GBA games on the 3DS.
Nope.
You got them with the Ambassador program, but they never. It was crazy.
Mario Kart, Fire Emblem. There were some good ass games. Mario Land, or Wario World. Sorry.
Yeah, that Fire Emblem game, old Fire Emblem games go for a lot of money too.
They go
so
for
it was
a lot.
very cool. I love that the Mario Kart. If you go to eBay at any time in your life, type in Game Boy Advance lot. Every single lot has a copy of Mario Kart in it without fail. It is really. It has to be the most bought Game Boy Advance game of all time.
Sure, yeah. And so I had already downloaded all those, right? Yeah. And there were very few games that I had deleted for whatever reason. One was like some airport luggage game that was like super cheap, but I started playing games on both the Wii U and the 3DS, and I thought, oh yeah, these are these were rough games. Some of the very first indies on Nintendo platforms were not good. They were
somehow cell phone games in a lot of ways.
Yeah. They were very short, quick little bites of game dev stuff. There were some really cool things on the Wii, and you can still access Wii games, re-download them. You can actually, I know they're shutting down sales next year in 2023, and they said, you can no longer add funds to your account at the end of May this year. What you can do is, if your account is linked to your Switch or Nintendo Online account from your Wii U or your 3DS, you can just add funds in your Switch or online on Nintendo's webpage, and it'll automatically show up there. So at least you have that option for this next year to pick up stuff. I'm going to be buying a couple more games. Again, didn't realize already owned like 2 copies of Earthbound. I own Super Mario RPG. I own Paper Mario, Metroid Prime Trilogy. I own a bunch of games. I'm like, wow, I had a lot of these games that I'm screaming about for now. I'm like, I already have these games. I don't need to get them again. The 3DS, I will say, I miss Nintendo, straight up Nintendo handhelds like that, because as much as everyone says, the Game Boy Advance, the DS, the 3DS was the final handheld only game console out there, and it was fantastic. It's still fantastic. It has tons of games. You can put themes on there. You could do so much fun stuff with your 3DS that Nintendo lost, like Street Pass.
I was just about to mention Street Pass.
Oh my god, it's so good.
There's those little concepts that Nintendo had that were so. Street Pass and Spot Pass were brilliant concepts.
Pass, yes.
And it's just like, I thought that the Miiverse was
so cool.
Was a brilliant idea, and Mario Maker lost a lot by losing Miiverse.
Yep.
Even Splatoon, like, they try to integrate that stuff for the second one, but it just doesn't feel
doesn't work right on the Switch.
It just
Miiverse was fantastic on the Wii U. There were some really cool, groundbreaking ideas across
I genuinely think Street Pass was one of Nintendo's most brilliant sort of like not like just like hardware concepts in a way. It got me to bring my 3DS
everywhere,
everywhere, which, like, as a person that like kind of already like travels with like a game system, like wherever they go, like I doubled down, like compulsive. Like, if you were at PAX, it was just like, all right, time to clear out my fucking Street Passes, and I gotta finish. I'm 2 puzzle pieces away, man. I got this.
I've met the puzzle pieces, and when you get like all-star Mii's like Reggie or Shigeru Miyamoto or Iwata, R.I.P. I had an Iwata one coming. I had famous game devs that I would bump into at E3 that had their 3DSs with them, and you'd get their Mii's. But I've made friends because for my in my Street Pass, I had my Twitter handle as the thing I would say. So it'd say @DollyDemofsky or whatever. And at least 3 or 4 people I've met that were messaged me on Twitter and said, "Hey, I got is this your Street Pass character?" And they would take a picture or whatever. And I've met people. I met a friend through a drive-through at a Tim Hortons, which is a coffee shop here in Michigan. I was going to the drive-through, and had the 3DS with me because you carry that sucker everywhere like a phone. And I got to the office, and I'm like, oh, the little green light's glowing. I must have driven past somebody on the expressway, and I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this kid. All right. Whatever. And then like a day later, I get a message like, hey, did you stop by Tim Hortons the other day? I'm like, oh my God, that was you. I got your, and we've like been friends on, ever since. It was such an awesome little thing. It would, and like I'll tell you what.
You finish yours first.
No, to say, if they included Street Pass on the Switch, they brought it back, I would legitimately buy a Switch Lite to take with me everywhere.
throw it in my bag.
Just for this. Yeah. It's a battery hog, though. That's the one thing about about Street Pass is a real battery hog. But man, anyways, found myself going through the Street Pass games in the end last night for like 45 minutes going, man, these are fun little games, and they'll be on my 3DS forever because it's not there. A lot of them were built in, whatever, but there's just nobody using Street Pass. I'll take it with me to PAX, though. I'll take it with me to PAX.
And Nintendo never really abandoned it either, which was like up until like the 3DS got just, twilighted. They like added new games. They kept adding puzzles. And, like I love the idea of and they gamified everything. There was all those games.
They really did.
And on top of that, they included the pedometer thing, so you were getting coins.
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
So it was just like, Nintendo.
They had literally the ultimate handheld device. Give me a Switch Micro that is I would love a Switch that just had that was a clamshell design. Yes. Yep.
That would just let me flip it open. There's the screen on top, the buttons down here, fold it,
or do it PSP Go style, even if
slide
PSP
up.
Go. Yes. Yeah.
But like that way, but like something I can just like toss in my pocket casually, or because I'm a big fat white guy, slide in my cargo shorts.
Yeah, cargo shorts, baby.
Yeah,
PAX East, here we go. But I completely agree with you. So it was nice to go through that stuff again. I did realize that I never finished Star Fox Zero. So my goal this weekend is like I might actually play through Star Fox Zero because I had the discs for that and Star Fox Card. I'm like, I bought those and it was not good at was it Platinum that developed that one? I think Platinum worked on that one, or somebody did.
That Star Fox Guard that it came with was like a completely different game that they just shoved Slappy into and said like, here you go.
Platinum Games, Platinum Games is the developer for Star Fox Zero.
That game was such a bummer because like everything's there.
Yeah,
but like it didn't come together and it plays like shit. That's the biggest sin that game has, is that it plays really bad. Like there's 1,000 things you could do with the touchpad, and what they did with it was the worst option. Like, so I don't know. It was
and that game is not going to. Although that game might. I made the mistake of selling off some of my old Wii U games. Now I'm like kicking myself. I'm like, why did I sell that copy of Deus Ex? Now I'm kicking myself. I'm like, shit.
I love those zany like ports that they did where everything it's
the Arkham one was kind of cool.
I like that they added something to the Arkham one where they gave Batman an exclusive power for an electricity power for the.
It was cool. The what I liked, I think the NBA 2K. They made an NBA 2K12 game for the Wii U, and the game played on the big screen, but if you held the gamepad up to the screen, it would show you which players were hot. Like it would have body temperature, and you'd be like, "Oh, I know that player is playing better right now. I'm going to pass him the ball more often to shoot." And it was actually kind of a nice little event, and obviously you would just put maps all on your on the gamepad, which. To this day, I still get annoyed when I have to hit a button to get to the map of any. I have to hit a button to load the map up, and the game pauses, and I'm like in the middle of a fight, and so.
Especially like even in this world of SSDs, it's like I shouldn't push the options button and have there be any hiccup to bring up the
exactly. Every game has that problem.
Another Wii U game that was like exclusive to the Wii U, that's like a third party kind of weird thing, was that Tekken Tag Tournament game.
Yes, I
remember.
That
Tekken Tag Tournament, it's like where it had like Mario, like you could put Mario costumes on everyone.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
And it had Mario power-ups and stuff. That game was fucking cool. That was like a launch title.
It was. That's wild. And they had
And remember, Nintendo, that's when Nintendo started toying with that. If you buy something, you get credit towards like a future purchase.
Yes.
Because they had that, like, if you got the black Wii with like the hard drive, with an actual hard drive in it or whatever, that was like, they were trying to incentivize you for going digital instead of physical. Whereas like for like a year and a half, you got like $10 for every like $120 or something.
it's and then the Nintendo Land, which is still the game that everybody wants. And bring Nintendo Land back.
There's no problem. Like,
there's so many cool things.
That game exists in a world where you could just easily just plop that thing down. It doesn't need the Wii U features in a lot of ways. So
you could, you could do it with. You can already do, if you have a second Switch.
Yeah,
you can play some games. You could play the last Mario Party game. You can actually put two Switches together and the character moves it. So you can do it. That tech is out there for the Switch where it zooms it to the other. I mean, you already have it with the board game, whatever that board game collection is.
Yeah, the Clubhouse games.
It doesn't. It actually just links to the Switch and not necessarily online. So yeah, you could do it.
Oh, wow.
But that was just spending the time re-downloading stuff, reminiscing, and then realizing I'm just gonna pack all this stuff up. I might leave the 3DS out because I do like to just poke around in there once in a while.
But the 3DS has some genuinely cool shit. That's the Mario 3D Land can only exist on that fucking system. Like, I don't know if you've tried to play that on a 2DS.
A 2DS. It doesn't work as well. No,
it doesn't work as well. Everything's wrong. It has one of the best versions of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
Because it's a game that lets you, it's the only version that lets you crouch walk or something. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. I mean, still playing some Pokemon, still playing some Guardians, and I loaded in Horizon Zero Dawn last night, thinking I want to get into this because everybody's been saying so many great things. The reviews for Forbidden West are they're pretty awesome. So I thought, all right, let me finally get through Zero Dawn. It's not a super long game, so I can knock enough of it out. In the next couple weeks here. So I think that's you'll be hearing me play the original Horizon, but beards. So what have you been playing?
I finally, we posted my big Dying Light 2. Like, we call it a review, and it really was a review because my final thoughts didn't really change all that much after I was sent that. I finally finished the campaign for it.
Okay.
And I don't like that game. I like playing the game. It is, once you unlock everything, you feel, to me, it's just a sandbox. Like, it's a weird thing because the first Dying Light is a scary game and you feel overwhelmed. In Dying Light 2, you can kind of run through the streets without any problem. The zombies are so spread apart. It's weird. It doesn't feel like there's a lot going on. And when you start doing the missions that let you, like I was telling you, like the water tower and all that stuff, which gives you perks for the factions that you're on or whatever you're choosing, you end up, because I went with the survivors, so I start getting more stuff, parkour stuff littered throughout town. And it just lets me get away in no time. There's okay, I run here, do a zip cord up all the way to the top of this building, and they've got a two-way zip line that goes across that way, and it's there's no threat during the daytime. Even nighttime, there's very little threat. The only time there's a threat during daytime is if you go inside a building that's heavily infected, and it tells you come back during the nighttime because all of the zombies are going to leave and head to the streets. And so you go in during the nighttime or whatever. And it just everything all that stuff feels gamified to a negative way. I don't like it. And the story sucked from start to finish. The ending was the ending was stupid, and I had to look it up to see if I got the worst ending, and it turned out I got the second best ending. So
oh really? Oh boy.
Yeah. And it was just and when I say worst ending, I don't mean worst possible outcome or something. I just mean it's just I did a lot of work, and this is just my big. Okay, fine.
It's the fact that you mentioned. So I was excited for Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm probably going to get this get into it at some point. When you told me that you don't get the slide until 10, 12 hours in.
Yeah.
A basic video game maneuver, a human maneuver.
Yeah.
which is to slide, which is to duck. That would be like saying, "Oh, you can't jump in this game for like cars." When you said that, that immediately turned me off as a bad design.
The parkour upgrade tree is the combat upgrade tree. Fine, I'm cool with the combat upgrade tree because it lets you do stuff like, okay, now you can do like it's Assassin's Creed. You can't start off by doing the attacking from above kind of stuff. It's something that you like, or attacking multiple people from above or whatever. That's stuff that you unlock. I get that. That's fine. The combo stuff and learning new attacks and things. But the parkour stuff, like that's your job. That's your character's lifeblood. He's a what do they call a pilgrim? I can't remember now.
Something like that.
And so you're basically a postman. You're basically just a gun for hire. It's that Kevin Costner movie where you're walking from but like wall jumping is one of the last parts on the upgrade tree. Like a typical like straight Halo lets you wall run. I have to unlock wall run and it's not one of the first upgrades. Fuck that. That is bad. Like I have all of the parkour stuff now and it plays great. This game's fun as hell when you're just doing the parkour stuff. Combat's just fine. The story's bad. Yes, it has just an endless amount of content, but it's all the same. It's all just sort of like going to a person and then they're going to lead you to a apartment. A cool thing about this game that I really do enjoy is that a lot of the buildings have something. Like they're like you'll be like, because you got a cool hang glider that you can like jump off a window and just sort of glide around town and everything, and like you'll be flying around and you'll see like a window's busted out and you can go in there and you'll find stuff. You'll find resources and things. That's cool. There's like cool exploration stuff going on in this game. Like sometimes it feels like you found something that maybe nobody's found. But that's the best part of the game again, is like just sort of the traversal. It's like playing Spider-Man 2 for the thing. Like everyone talks about how great that game was, not because the game was great, but because it was fun existing in that world. Swinging through town and maybe once in a while taking down a bad guy. Like because there's like a mugging in process or whatever. But nobody remembers the actual game part of Spider-Man 2, which is really not that great. It's just your typical bullshit action game from the era. But the swinging is what everyone remembers from Spider-Man 2. And it's kind of the same thing with Dying Light 2, where this game, I keep finding myself going back to it. I wanted to finish it because when I was doing the exploring and all that stuff, it's incredibly fun. It's incredibly fine-tuned. You really feel like you're doing some cool like parkour shit, especially when you're fully upgraded. I just wish it was in a better game. I wish, like, if this game was Mirror's Edge, because Mirror's Edge is fun, but I think the traversal and the movement is better in this game than what you're doing in Mirror's Edge. You feel cooler doing it. There's a lot of like jumps that I'm like, I'm never gonna make this. Holy shit, I did it.
I made it.
Yeah, and you get like a grappling hook that lets you swing from stuff and things like that. There's some cool shit going on here, but it's just wrapped up in it. I think I said it the first time. It's it's an 8 wrapped in a 4. It's just I don't recommend it. I would recommend it if it's like how much it costs to get Dying Light right now. Like I think if you wanted to get the definitive edition, it's like $12 or something at any given time. Like it's a good game. I like Dying Light. I just finished it up not that long ago because I got a new copy for the Switch, and that game's held up very well. It's very tense, very stressful. When it's nighttime, it's scary in the original Dying Light because it's a much smaller. I think the map being smaller is better for this game because it's a huge map in Dying Light 2. Which also means that everything's spread out more. It's wide open streets, which is why I can just run through the streets and not have a zombie touch me. In Dying Light 2, it's like, it's the favela, it's like everything's really tight and it never really feels like you're getting too high up off the ground because everything's kind of low slung in Dying Light 1 and everything. In Dying Light 2, I can get on top of some absolutely massive buildings and just sort of like hang glide from building to building and never have to touch the ground. They went out of their way to make it less scary, and it didn't work out. I would recommend Dying Light 1 over Dying Light 2 any day of the week.
Okay. Well, I might dip into that because it is available on like the Switch and other platforms. Yeah. So,
and it's really good on the Switch. It's ugly as hell, but it plays really well.
Okay. But Dying Light 2 does not.
Does not. It plays well. It's broken in like a typical video game way, where it's just like I killed a guy and he just stood there T-posed for like okay, well there you go. But like. Anyways, I'm just gonna do this like the lightning round, because it's a lot of review copies of things that I've gotten that I can't really talk. Like I could never do like 20 minutes on some of this stuff, but like they're asking a lot out of me to write hundreds of words or do a 10-minute review of Breakout Recharge. We'll start with Breakout Recharge. I played that. That is a phenomenal game. If you like, if you like Breakout, you have to get Breakout Recharged. It looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful, and it's got a really cool take on Breakout, because it has this feature where it's basically one life, and you're just like playing Breakout, and the levels just kind of keep coming in. Like it doesn't do like stage 2 go. It's just like lowering down, and now here's the new stage coming on top of like the stage that you haven't finished yet, and you got all of the your typical like Arkanoid style power-ups that like you're collecting. It's like, okay, here's lasers, here's the extension, here's multi-ball, here's all this stuff, and it gets chaotic, and it has this Geometry Wars look to it, which all the Recharged games have. Apparently there was another one that I can't remember. There was a Missile Command one that I had no idea existed. That I'm gonna have to go back to and check out. But of the 3 that I've played, it's Asteroids, Black Widow, and this is easily the best of the bunch. It's got a kick-ass co-op mode, as you can see here.
Oh, sweet.
And it has an arcade mode, so it has your typical 3 lives kind of situation. But the bread and butter is like the main mode. That is just, you get 1 life and go try to get a high score. Go as long as you can. And it's fantastic. I highly recommend it, especially if you see it like it's like $10 on sale or something. I think it's $20 right now. But I got a review code for Avicii. Whatever. I forget what the game is now. It's in whatever. I know nothing about Avicii. That's why I got that review code, because I thought, I know nothing about this person. I knew they existed, and I knew they died. Those are the 2 things I knew about Avicii. I couldn't tell you
Invector.
I couldn't tell you a song from them. I just knew of what type of music they were doing. So I'm like, this would be cool. I'm going in completely blind. I love rhythm games. Can't get enough of them. Give it to me. And so I started playing it. It's a really good rhythm game. I like his music, I guess, because I was like really feeling this music. And it's not it's got a story mode in it and everything. Like there's like a space travel story mode going on, but like the gameplay is very straightforward, very simple. It's kind of like frequency and amplitude. It's that style thing where it's like you're in a tunnel and like you're doing stuff, but it's only got really like a handful of like things. It's like hit the trigger when you go over the yellow lines, and push the buttons when you go over the button, and there's like little arrows that you like slide back and forth on, that it tells you, because you're in like a triangle for most of the stages. So like you're going across 3 sides, and like, you're going on that. And sometimes it goes into a flat panel, so you're going left and right, and you're like doing like jumps and stuff. But again, it's push the button when you get over it and you jump.
What are you playing this on?
MetaQuest 2.
MetaQuest 2.
And I think it's on everything. I think that's just a game that's existed, and this is like the final version. This is you boot up the game, and it has a big picture of him with like a in loving memory of kind of thing. And then there's like these cool like free flying modes where it's like when there's like a breakdown, you're just like flying through rings, like a fun game, like a fun little like space game. It's really good. I like I said, I didn't know anything about Avicii going into it, and then the music's. I enjoy the music. I would never like. It's not going to go into my Spotify playlist, but for a VR like rhythm experience, it's perfect for this. Love it.
That's cool. This seems like the kind of game that would be fantastic in VR.
Yeah, the way the rhythm sections work is really, really, really good. And it's got like the difficulty ramps up naturally, like beginner, medium, and hard. Like it doesn't have. It's not like Guitar Hero where it's like, oh, now you got to do some crazy shit. It's just basically like alternates between like you got to just remember. Okay, like if you just do beginner, it's just like you're not alternating between buttons. It's like this one's going to be A and this one's going to be B or whatever. It's like, okay, this one's now it's going to be like you go higher up. Like you can see those ones. Now you're pushing the joystick in different directions. Or
got it.
It naturally increases it on the difficulty. It's really nice. It's really sweet to like have this be sort of like the final tribute. Like we finished it. This is it. And they sort of consider this like the definitive edition. And it's great. If you have a VR, you have an Oculus or Meta Quest 2.
It may even be on PSVR for all I know. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. I think the Switch has a version of it.
Yep.
I think it would lose something without the VR component, but it's still the game plays really well.
Sure.
I think the thing that's good about VR is you can't help but play. You kind of have to play them with headphones on. That's sort of the thing. That's sort of the conceit you have to do with VR. Like you can turn off the sound, but like the experience comes from the 3D audio and the VR stuff. And like so, a lot of people don't play like the Switch or even a lot of video games with just headsets on. And, like they usually save the headsets for chat and stuff, but it's definitely you have to wear headphones for rhythm games, and it really helps that that's a requirement with the Quest in a lot of ways. I also did the Horizon Worlds stuff.
Tell me about this.
How does this company think that this is the future of anything? It is the most batshit insane experience. Like, I've done VR chat. I've done all of that. PlayStation Home, all that stuff. This is an ugly, awful world that is supposed to be like 18 and up. And let me tell you, I didn't hear a single adult's voice in my time in this thing. It was... It was... Like, first of all, I booted it up and absolutely got nothing. I just stood in like this weird world where I'm like on a platform and I can move around and look around, but nothing was happening. And I had to do that 2 or 3 times. And like finally on like the 3rd reboot, it finally let me create my avatar, which looks really. I look pretty good. Bald guy with a beard, a Super Bowl shirt, and some jeans. So
nice.
So you never get to everyone's kind
of looking for JJ in the metaverse. You know where to find him now.
Know where to find me in the metaverse. I was wandering around the stage, playing some weird games that they have there. I don't know why they give me the option for jeans because, as you can see in this, nobody has legs. But I mean, like, it's cool in the sense where they give you the tools to make your own shit, and like, people can play the games, and you play games with people, and there's like creative stuff going on. But like, I can do that in Dreams. I can do that in Little Big Planet that's still up and running. I could play Mario Maker. Like, I could play Roblox.
Yes, I think you can play Roblox. Yeah,
Minecraft has a VR functionality now. Like, I don't know. It clearly is trying to make it be a meeting place, like a genuine, like, let's go have instead of doing a Teams meeting, let's go into the metaverse.
Hang out in the metaverse.
Yeah, but like the thing about Teams and Zoom and all that stuff, and why they're successful for businesses is that all you need is a computer.
Yep.
You don't even need a computer. You got a tablet, you got a phone.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Can you get online? You can use a toaster in some ways. Yeah.
Your refrigerator probably can use Teams or Zoom. Not well, but could. But for this, you need to be, granted a Quest 2 isn't expensive in terms of tech standards, but it's still $200 something bucks. It's not. There's nothing there, and it's too whimsical. I don't know how they expect this to be a business thing. Like, come have your meeting at. It's basically inviting people to Disneyland to have a serious business meeting in the metaverse. I don't, because everything, like your avatar looks like a cartoon. When you're doing a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting, it's you. I mean, it was a viral sensation when that guy, that lawyer went accidentally in as a cat, like or like having the fancy background or whatever. Like, that's the extent of the whimsy for that stuff. If you came in dressed as it's fucking Second Life, like you're a VTuber in this world where it's like, oh, I just bought this new fucking Tigger costume and I'm gonna wear it to the very important meeting that our company has put together in the metaverse. That's not gonna fly. No business is gonna want to have to deal with that. And it's still Facebook. At the end of the day, it's still Facebook.
Yep.
Like, you get it, and it's like it's got all of the market. It's like people are talking to you nonstop. Or talking you get in contact, like, as if you get close to a group. It's that kind of locational audio thing. The closer you get, the louder it is, or whatever. I ended up finding myself in an arcade, and
that's awesome.
As I do, in metaverse, real life, typical. I'll find myself in an arcade
somehow.
And you're just kind of messing around, like, with the air hockey table that's in there and everything. And it's like, oh, there's a stage over there, and everyone is there. That's where everyone is. And he's like, you just kind of slide on over there. You walk in there, and it's just it's a bunch of kids screaming, cursing at each other. Shut up! I'm gonna do. And then you get a poll of them bullying somebody. It's like, we're gonna kick you out. So you get a poll. It's like, should we kick Cool Steve 99 out of the fucking?
Oh jeez!
Leave me alone. And then they all start just singing, because it's a stage, and it's they don't know what to sing. So it's they're just gonna start singing the YMCA or something. And it's just I at that point, I'm just I have to leave. I'm out of here. I have to jack out of the Matrix for this. This is just, I don't know. I don't know who this is. I don't even know why it's called the metaverse, because nothing's real. Yes, you're creating shit, but you can create. I don't consider Super Mario Maker the metaverse.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand what makes this the metaverse right now. I don't know where that phrase. When I think of the metaverse, I'm kind of thinking about how the way the blockchain's working and crypto stuff is working, where it's just a separate identity that's sort of tied to uniquely you. You don't necessarily have to exist inside of it, but you're part of it. You're in it. You are in your zeros and ones and your whatever complex blockchain numbers or whatever is you're part of it now. That's the metaverse, not this weird VR chat / whatever PlayStation Home VR nonsense is going on. I'm sure there's more stuff to come, because it's Facebook. Why wouldn't there be? Clearly the plan is to have events there, it's like Fortnite does with concerts and stuff.
Fortnite and Roblox is doing it, and Pokemon Go had it.
Yeah. Clearly that's the plan. Clearly that's what they want to do. But again, that stuff already exists. It just so happens that you're first your Facebook, and you're also Oculus. So you decided you needed to connect these two in some way to try to get ahead of the curve in some weird way that nobody's walking towards. This is the destination at the end of this walkway. None of us are walking towards. I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone other than weird tech dudes that see what's at the end of where the sidewalk ends, and there's the fucking Facebook Horizon Worlds, whatever this thing is, and be like, yes, this is where the future rests. I can't imagine that. Again, It's too whimsical for that. It's a toy right now, just like how VR is a toy. They're trying. It's just like with NFTs, selling them as this is great for artists. It's just like it's not. Like it's great for a couple of artists, sure, but not all artists. It's much more cost effective for a lot of artists just to take commissions, just like with anything. And it's going to be the same thing. Like this is solving a problem that doesn't exist really. It's VR. It's a toy. More people are playing games in VR. You never hear about the app stuff.
Yeah, you never hear about it.
Because I mean, there's cool apps on there. There's some really cool like video viewers and files. There's cool web browsers and file managements and like exercise stuff and like, you know, you just want to play poker? You can sit down at a poker table and play fucking poker with people. Like it's still a game, but that's more of an app than anything, you know, the casino stuff. But nobody cares about that. People want to know about Half-Life Alyx. People want to know about, you know, I'm going to post a video review at one point on like Captain Toonhead, because I think that game's really cool. And like, I like to talk to people about that. I don't want to talk to people about the interesting Apollo 11 experience I had or whatever. But you know, it is what it is. It's stupid. Yeah. It's got no traction, and for obvious reasons. And it's a thing that says 18 and up. It's clearly designed for children. It has the aesthetic for children. You've seen it. You saw the pictures. You saw what that was. Video.
Yeah.
That is not marketing towards adults.
No.
So you can say 18 plus all you want. It's filled with children, and it's clearly designed for children because it's Roblox. It's building games that you can share with other users, and you can vote on them. It's like, I like your game, yay! And there you go. And that's it. So I feel like there's something else, and I just can't remember it right now.
Oh, so, I mean, if it pops in your head, it'll pop in. I know we were gonna talk about the magazine real quick as well.
Yeah, let's just get to that because
let's do that.
It's just us. We were talking about retro.
We got a couple more minutes to kill here.
Yeah, we were talking about retro shit, and I said, you know what, Dally, I can do this because I have a massive gaming collection, a gaming magazine digital collection.
What? I had this. Yeah. I had this issue.
I said, what was your favorite magazine growing up? And he said Game Pro, which is the right answer.
Love this.
And I said, just give me a number between 1 and 50 because I have the first 50 issues on this hard drive of every video game magazine.
From this horrible art. Oh,
just God. The absolute worst version of the Ninja Turtles. This is July 1990, and I'm gonna blow this up. I wanted to blow this up a bit. Oh, I don't know if that made it bigger on your end or not. I can't see anything anymore. I don't need to then.
You don't need to.
Okay.
It was fine the other way. Yeah, it's actually better this way. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This is better. Yeah. So it's so fun to go through these old magazines because you can see the more things change. I mentioned it earlier where they're talking about Super Smash Kart, basically.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just look through these.
Dungeon Magic. Wow.
Remember Dungeon Magic? There's Wrath of the Black Manta.
I have that. Still have that game.
Yeah. Action, adventure, mystery, and intrigue from Taito.
Yeah, it was their Ninja Gaiden, but not nearly as good.
I don't know how to pronounce this game. I saw it earlier, and it's like Zexes or something. XEXYZ.
Oh wow!
It's definitely an NES game from
Xevious. That's crazy.
It's not Xevious, and the future is now. The challenge is real. The game is Zexes, and I see like there's like a little space fish down there, which I don't understand what's going on with this game. I don't know what this game is. It's a Hudson Soft game that I've never seen before. So, here's the.
We'll have to get a hold of it somehow through our
somehow.
Yeah.
There's Michael Jackson because this is 1990. It's okay. Hudson.
Alive.
What game is this? Mendel Palace.
Oh, Mendel Palace. Good Lord. Oh my gosh.
Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Oh man. There's the game for Dick Tracy. Free poster
calling
inside the box.
Nintendo players. They're calling all Nintendo players.
Welcome to the Force, kid. There's the movie. There's the movie and the game all in one. Terrible game. Terrible game.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it was.
Jaleco's goal.
Yeah. Yep, I remember goal.
This dude's getting kicked right in the dick. Sudden death. Kick in with goal and support the U.S. soccer team and Youth Soccer Association. So there you go. Oh man, there's fucking...
Oh, here we go.
That's Laird and
Peter Laird
and what I always forget.
Eastman and Laird, yeah.
Eastman and Laird, yep. Kevin Eastman.
Oh
man, let's see who is the editor in chief. Leanne McDermott back then.
Oh wow.
It's like so I need to look at these because sometimes you recognize names.
Yeah. Some folks are still around.
Every once in a while, I'll like look at these and go through like the who was writing and like Google them and see like if they're still around or like do they have a Twitter feed? Can I look and see if like
that's cool.
Yeah, and sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't, and sometimes they'll still like be doing video game stuff. Like it's interesting because like this is 1990. This is what the heck? Oh,
Nickelodeon anywhere. Okay.
1990 Nickelodeon. So this is still like you can't say that on television era.
Yeah, that's a good era right there.
Oh, you look at your club card is a 3D hologram card and gets you special offers at Universal Studios Florida, Pizza Hut, and TCBY Yogurt. So
Nick Rocks, a rock and roll photo quiz with the freshest groups. Nice.
We don't need to read the magazine. The mail. Oh, Turbo Racing, cool.
Oh, nice.
Hey, you want to get subscribe to GamePro and get a free poster?
Yeah. I remember that post. I remember that cover too. Yeah.
There's the card,
Pros, baby. That's cool. That this archive has all that stuff in there. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
The video game specialists. I remember that company to buy games there. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I think Telegames still existed up to very recently.
Yeah.
I look at you get stuff for the Atari XE.
From the rumor mill. What's the rumor mill up there?
Let's see. It says, I think GamePro is great. I was wondering if Nintendo is making a color Game Boy. My friends tell me there's one out in Japan. I plan to buy a Game Boy, but if they're coming out with a color unit, maybe I'll wait for that. And the editor says, how long are you willing to wait? We haven't heard about a color Game Boy just yet, although we have heard rumblings of a portable Famicom in development.
Oh, geez.
Which plays regular game carts. We bet that technology shows up in the U.S. before a color Game Boy.
Oh, wow. Way off. Way off.
In fact, awesome. The Minnesota-based BDL Enterprises has demonstrated a prototype NES-compatible portable to Nintendo. You see last two Pro News from May 1990. But that nifty device is on indefinite hold, and the word on the streets is that the Big N is toying with the idea of producing its own unit. So, yeah, swing and a miss.
Nope.
There's Captain Skyhawk.
Okay, that's an interesting game.
Captain Skyhawk is one of those, like I was talking about with Mario Kart. You see it every time you go to like a retro games shop or something. It's like they have like 5 or 6 copies of Captain
Was that
Skyhawk.
like an isometric style or overhead or something like that? I forget what it was.
Yeah.
They were trying to make the worlds look 3D.
Yeah, it was kind of isometric, except for like boss fights kind of happened on like a weird plane. There's Cabal.
I remember that. Hit him low.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Power Glove, baby.
Mm-hmm. Everything else is child's play.
Yeah.
The Power Glove, which has like 0 functionality.
I have a complete one that I can hook up right now and play if I wanted to.
Nice.
I beat Glass Joe with it, and that's about as good. Yeah, that's about as good as you can.
Poor guy. Yeah.
The cutting edge. Here's the Super cartridge. Even if you haven't played with a Genesis or a TurboGrafx, you NES gamesters who are GamePro regulars have a notion of what you're missing.
Wow, the Super.
So the Super
computer in a cartridge.
Yeah. Oh man. So this
before they even knew about the Super NES or anything. Yeah,
contains an independent 8-bit Z80 microprocessor that shakes hands with the NES's own 8-bit processor to double your game playing power. So this is basically the Super FX chip, but for the NES. I don't know if that ever was a thing. Like, I don't think that ever made its way to any games. It says that's roughly 10 to 12 times more than Super Mario Brothers 2. The ROM teams up with 64K of dynamic RAM shared between the Z80 and your NES to process video signals. RAM is the key element that enables your games to move and groove by choreographing the animation, painting colors, and orchestrating sounds. A typical NES cart has the neighborhood of 1K of RAM, although 1 and 2 megabit cartridges are beginning to make appearances. Oh man, to go in that level. There's bases loaded for the Game Boy.
Bases loaded. Look at that. Game Boy's coming alive.
Yeah, baby.
Looks like a ghost leaping across
Hellraiser. Yeah,
Hellraiser. They put that was the splash screen for Hellraiser. Yeah. That was the intro. And they had that intro screen in every freaking magazine because it was some great big accomplishment to get digitized Pinhead in every I don't know. I remember seeing that same head everywhere.
Oh yeah.
For this game. Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Video diction.
Some more cards.
So Texan Taxan get video diction newsletter from Taxan. That's wild. I haven't seen that before.
Send that in now. See if anybody gets it. Atomic Robo Kid, baby. Genesis. They do what Nintendo don't.
Oh, I love these.
Oh, Jesus, these are great. Was there like mostly ads in Game Pro? Because that's what it certainly seems like.
Yeah. There's
13's back, baby.
If you go back to these early 90s, late 80s ones, they're kind of all ads. Dylan Opus. That just
I remember we have Dylan Opus, yeah.
Oh, you can win. All kinds of stuff. Look at that bike.
Yeah. Just tucked in the back there. Yeah. You can win an old TV. That would have been a hot TV back in the day, that's for sure.
Oh, here's all the new arcade games coming out. Shadow Dancer. Oh, man.
eSWAT. That was the first esport. Terra Crest. Yep.
There's the Light Boy, everyone's favorite.
Oh, I remember the Light Boy. I've always wanted one. I always wanted those.
Beautiful. Beautiful accessory. There's a comic, The Adventures of Game Pro.
They tried to do their own comic, right? Because they had the Nintendo Power had those awesome Zelda and Mario and Nestor
Nestor, and I think even
Howard Nestor.
Yeah, I think even EGM was tried to get because
it's a great idea. Actually, it was a real cool idea for the gaming magazines to do this kind of thing.
Because the thing that the gaming magazines did, especially Game Pro, was personified the reviewers. They gave them characters, and you knew who they were intimately. It's like how it took
Sushi
a while.
X. Everyone knows Sushi X.
Everyone knows Sushi X and Dan Shu. You know, those. But that took a while for that to make its way to the internet, when everything went digital. I think Giant Bomb is the only one that really sort of nailed that. Joystick did a good job with the podcast, but you really only knew a handful of people, and there was some other people just kind of but the McElroys, Grant, Ludwig, and even there were several others, but those. But this one, everyone in a Game Pro is a gimmick. You don't know who the people are, but we'll get to it probably in this one. I don't know if they've adopted it for this yet, where people have a character. This is obviously a wrestling comic, which is interesting.
You got zapped into a wrestling game,
Yeah, it's Tecmo wrestling game. Oh, the links!
Look at that, the Atari links.
Look at those headphones.
Yeah. Oh, they still sell headphones like that. Those are still the headphones you get for fourth graders.
Do you think if I call this 800 number, I'll still get
totally got to do that? That would be a great article or something. A great video is just you calling all these 800 numbers from video game magazines and seeing
old 90s. That'd be awesome. Oh man, Super C, one of my all-time favorite video games.
Great game. Yep.
That's the boss in the very beginning. You see in the top right corner there, the Metal Gear that's stomping around.
But do you remember? Isn't it kind of cool that gaming magazines would just say "fuck it" to layouts and they're let's just put the screens, the screens tiny and put them all over the place and make the text go every. Yeah,
it's so funny when you see E3 coverage from some of these early magazines because there was no way to get screenshots. It's just them taking take a picture and pray that it comes out when I develop this photo, man. Yeah. It's it's bad. Visual. It's there's the overhead.
Yeah, it was done by hand. Yep. A lot of it was, they were just laid out by hand and then, a lot of the printing was done that way.
Yeah. And because this is the 90s, it just had we can just have a lot of attitude by making it look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shows you that we're rebels.
And for them, it was nice because they got away with things not lining up correctly and text all over the place. So.
Yeah. And I always, the word pro tip has become like video game vernacular. It is a game. It came from GamePro, and you can see every screenshot on here has a pro tip underneath it. And people still to this day will say pro tip. It's just the wildest thing. Like they have no idea why they say pro tip. It's like how your daughter probably has no idea why she clicks the vending machine on Excel to save a file. Like, you know, it's I just have fond memories of that boss in the upper right corner. That's that little walking tank because like that was like me and my dad were stuck there for the longest time playing the game. Like we're gonna get past this eventually, damn it.
Eventually.
And there are more screenshots. Look at that! Look at that screenshot in the top left corner. How like it's indecipherable. Wow. Like you included that in your magazine, and it's almost indecipherable. But
pro tip: mess up your eyes by going to this level.
Yeah, Super C is $43.95 by Konami. Apparently, we're not going to read. There's Dash Galaxy. There's Codename Viper. Look at the way
South America.
Yeah, do you see how they? I like the way they stitched those screenshots together to make a giant map.
Yeah. Huh. That's right. The old days of stitching screenshots. Yeah. Pro tip.
Pro tip: find the time capsules for the precious seconds you need to finish a level.
Still looking for those time capsules.
Yeah. Yep. That game was $49.95. Apparently,
it's interesting. They listed the prices on a lot of these.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the price for this game, and then if the game was like cheaper, you're thinking, oh, that's a great value. I'm more interested in that.
Yeah.
Probably get my parents to pick that up.
Is this what game is this?
Go to the next page.
Abadox. Okay. I love that art. Holy shit.
That's
Look at those googly eyes.
It's the inside of a bee. It's just blood everywhere.
Yeah. That rules.
Demons. That's cool.
Abadox by Milton Bradley. Price not available.
Yeah. X.
Yeah.
You can get that game now on a lot of different platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. $45. Adventures of Lolo 2, baby.
I was never a Lolo guy.
No, it's not a good game. That's
Revenge of the Gator, Shanghai. Man, they really tried to make the game. What's that game? Shoot,
Mahjong.
Mahjong. They really tried to make it a thing in the U.S., didn't they?
Also, I want to point out. Look at Lolo back there.
He's just like, wait a minute. This is about me, right?
Yeah.
Bri Fighter. Interesting. Never played that. I hardly remember that
one. Notice who this article is written by. The Mongoose.
Oh, the Mongoose.
Yeah, this is a Taxan game for $40. We saw a card to get the Taxan disc.
Lolo was hell before Kirby. Look at that.
Yeah. Look at
it's contagious. Can't say that anymore. Oh my gosh.
Look at the terrible art for this thing.
It is. Look at the dude sitting there. What's he doing at the bottom there?
He's on the screen of the box art too.
Oh jeez.
What is the screenshots? Like they look like,
you know what? That may now be our. Oh my god! That is the worst box. That we've got to use that character in something now. That's our mascot, the character from Soccer Mania.
Soccer Mania. I don't think ImageSoft is going to come after us.
Yeah.
But look at those screenshots. They look like they were done like on like.
Oh my gosh! It looks
sort
horrible.
of like weird backlit like Game & Watch or something. Like those don't look like Game Boy screenshots.
They look horrible.
Oh, Rad Racer.
Rad Racer was real good.
I love Rad Racer. It's got a 3D
mode.
The
night scene. Yeah, look at that top right night scene.
Comes with 3D glasses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here they are. Best Sports, Tecmo Bowl.
Who? By who?
Well, this is a Tecmo ad, so it doesn't matter by who. They just him.
1989's best Tecmo games.
Yeah.
Bad News Baseball. I don't remember World Wrestling.
I remember that game. I remember Ninja Gaiden too.
Here's Moonwalker.
Yeah, this is why they had Michael Jackson in there.
There he is. Is this the arcade version or the Genesis version?
I don't know.
This looks like it kind of looks like the arcade version.
Maybe
this looks really good.
It looked good on the Genesis.
Moonwalker by Sega of America. Price not available. So there you go. Yeah, but I think they've made it originally like arcade game still. Too.
It was an arcade game.
But if they say price not available, that means they don't think you're gonna buy the fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, remember Air Diver?
Yeah. Air Diver.
Look at that! Look at that!
It's kind of interesting though. That was an era of flight games.
Look at that cockpit.
That's crazy. There's
a lot going on.
They managed to do that all with old consoles.
I don't know who Seismic is. I don't remember them. There's Shove It.
Shove It.
A classic.
Original Pushmo.
Yeah. By DreamWorks.
Everybody had a company.
Yeah. Oh man, Genesis does.
Here we go.
What Nintendo
don't.
And in this case, what Nintendo don't do is Tommy Lasorda baseball, Spider-Man, Pat Riley's basketball, Moonwalker.
You know what's interesting is Spider-Man was still being used, even back then was being used as an IP like that was better on like a console selling IP.
Yeah.
From Marvel. That's crazy.
I love how these are all mostly sports games. Like there's Joe Montana, there's Arnold Palmer. There's Buster Douglas.
And it's the same style. It's like, here's the hand signature, right? And then here's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. Ow, Alex Kidd. Still in Shinobi World. That's a good one. Cybercore. That's we got. Blood Wolf.
Bloody Wolf.
World GP.
Yep.
Basket Brawl.
Brawl.
That game sucks, and it's an Atari game. So.
Oh, jeez. Atari ProView.
Yeah.
And you could tell because look how horrible the layout is on that. I mean, those screenshots look just so bad. The Python.
The quick shot. The quick shot has Python. To be like the most bought flight stick of all time, right? Like it has a CES ad in it.
Yeah, right.
It tells you where their booth is at CES. The booth 7,
come check us out
next to Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Come check us out. By the time you get this magazine, CES will be over, but come check us out anyways.
Here's the Ninja Turtles game for the Game Boy.
Yeah, it's a good game. That was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because they made them larger characters.
Yes. That was a big problem with the original Ninja Turtles games on the NES, is that the character sprites are very, very small.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made really big sprites for this game, and it looks really good. Like, it's held its... Oh, Batman for the Game Boy. That game's bad.
Is great.
It's a bad game.
It's so bad. It's great because I had just played the NES version and I thought, oh man, it's on Game Boy. It's going to be great on Game Boy. And I remember picking up for Game Boy and thinking, this is completely different and it's so bad. Look at
this little tiny guy. Look at that little tiny Batman.
This is one of those games where the situations where you tell yourself that you love this game because you love because you put so much. You're like, no, it's gonna be just as good as the NES game, and I can take it with me now. It's gonna be great, and it was.
It was like Hyper Load Runner for me for the Game Boy. Like I hated that game, but it was with me because it was a Game Boy game that I had.
Yep.
And it was a bad version of Load Runner, but who cares? Mm-hmm. And speaking of Batman,
here's the one.
Hot news for Hot Shots. Get the inside.
That game was awesome.
Do you think if I mail this, Sunsoft will give me something back?
Do it.
Wizards and Warriors.
Oh yeah, there you go for the Game Boy. Wow.
Oh.
Hyanki Alien.
Meldak of America.
Never heard. I remember this ad.
It says it's the Japanese masterpiece.
Okay,
it's a game everyone will enjoy.
Nice.
It's got multi-matrix sound system, the latest advancement in audio high technology. I sincerely doubt that.
Yeah.
There's Bonk. Good old Bonk. For TurboGrafx, back when there was still
nice ad, actually. Nice ad.
Yeah.
SWAT hot tips.
Here's the hot tips. So you get all your what game are we looking at? Kung Fu Heroes?
A bunch of different games, yeah. Oh, is that Is this all Kung Fu Heroes?
Okay. It's giving you little hints for each stage.
Look at those screen caps, dude. They're the horrible photographs.
There's Abadox, how to do some shit.
World-class baseball, yeah.
Try to pitch a no-hitter. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, Fester's Quest. I loved Fester's Quest.
Phantasy Star 2. There's the code for slow motion for Phantasy Star 2. Change the music for Phantasy Star 2. Use the magic wand in Phantasy Star 1. This is my least favorite. Yeah. This is my least favorite video game of probably all time.
Yep, it's so bad. It's so bad.
It's terrible, and it's the first game that I ever truly hated. You're so excited to play X-Men. Yeah. You're so excited to play an X-Men game, and like this is what you get, and
and you couldn't complete it.
No,
the game was actually a broken game.
It was broken.
I would love to see somebody go back now and recreate it and actually make it make it.
They are still making these games.
Nobunaga's Romance.
There's Nobunaga's Ambition, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, man.
Yep.
And this is Koei, and they're still making these today, man.
Yep.
You can boot up Steam now, and you will find probably a Romance of the Three Kingdoms game came out like within the last couple of years. To order, visit a retailer or call 415-348-0500.
Definitely want you to call. Just put a list together of all the numbers in one magazine and just start calling. That's going to be great. We're going to have to do that.
To chart Visa or MasterCard or money order. IBM and Amiga are registered trademarks.
So many ads. That's all they were was ads. It's insane. Coming at you. Look out.
Like a fucking Sunday. It's Hal.
Yeah. Oh, geez, Hal America.
And look, it's also part of the Nintendo World Championship 1990.
Oh, nice.
Quick, can you guess who's behind these great Nintendo games?
I don't know who's behind them.
Technos,
a company no longer exists.
But they still release all of the games.
Yeah.
Also available at the Nintendo World Championship 1990.
That crazy wabbit.
Oh man. Crazy Castle. That's what Crazy Castle game.
Oh yeah, that was what was that game initially? That was a different game. Right?
They were different. Like it was originally just like Castle of Illusion or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they just kept putting like other there's a Mickey Mouse version of it.
Yeah.
There's I think a Ghostbusters version of it. There's all kinds. Like they just shoved those guys into everything they could. Roger Rabbit has one. There's tennis.
Grand Slam.
Boomer's Adventure. It's another ad.
Asmic.
Short pro shots where they only have one screenshot for these new games. There's Pipe Dream.
Double Dare, baby.
Yeah. Solstice. I actually I just bought a copy. I just bought a copy of Solstice completely in box like a month ago.
Nice.
Pipe
Solstice
Dream,
was like an isometric RPG, wasn't?
Yes, where you play and I got the box art. I got it strictly on the box art because it has like a hunky wizard on it. It's very funny.
Yeah.
A Pipe Dream, or as you may better know it as the hacking game from BioShock.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Boulder Dash.
A
classic. Pinball Quest.
There's Captain Skyhawk down there.
Captain Skyhawk. Why do you only have one screenshot of Captain Skyhawk when there was an ad just like 10 pages? Double Dungeon.
With more screenshots.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Knight Rider, WrestleMania,
1943.
Ring King's just not the same when it doesn't have your quarterman coming in and giving you a blowjob in between.
Yeah.
There's WWF Superstars for the Game Boy.
Gargoyle's Quest.
Oh, that game's great. That game's genuinely great. There's no screenshot for it. It's just a description of. There's Rocket Ranger.
The joy from one magazine. Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah. Baseball Simulator 3.0 is always. Culture Brain. Oh yeah.
Champion of the U.S.
There's Funky Wizard.
There he is. Man, homeboy's got abs, dude.
He's doing the triple. This Triple H like.
You shall not pass without giving me a number. Yeah.
I mean, that's literally Triple H's like apron pose when he does.
There you go.
He's gonna spit that potion into.
Also a part of the Nintendo World Championships, by the way.
Yes, I don't know how you would play that at Nintendo World Championship, but whatever. Subscribe to GamePro.
Man, here we go. GamePro swag. Yeah. The koozies.
Yeah.
There we go. The Advantage. Great.
Which of these two companies still exists? Toys R Us, GamePro, or Nintendo NES Advantage?
The NES Advantage was a cool designed controller because everything was meant to be off center, right? Look at it. It's all diagonal. It's got like a Mondrian look. I loved it. I love the design of it.
It's one of my favorite like controllers of all time.
I've got to find it. I got to find one for myself.
If I could stand up, I would get out and show you. I have this still in its box. Like it has like the KB Toys price tag on it still and everything. It's got all the foam inserts and everything in it.
Oh,
when I saw it, I had to have it, and because I love that controller.
It's so great.
It's
so
bad
great.
to play a lot of NES games with it.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool, and it weighs 1,000 pounds. If somebody
it does.
if somebody breaks into your house, you could kill them with it. There's Fantasy Star. Oh, this is the art contest. I always love the art. Look at that. These are all older people. The first place winner is Tom Jones, age 25.
It's not unusual.
Yeah. This reference from Vallejo is 24 years old, and third place was a 16-year-old. So good job, adults, throttling some kids. Oh, here you go.
We're a video game thumb. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, you put that on your thumb.
Yeah.
Thumb master.
Yeah. You get your colors: black, blue, aqua, purple, fluorescent green, pink, or hot pink.
Nice.
Well, obviously hot pink. They are $1.50.
We gotta sell those again, man. Those are awesome.
Small, medium, and large. You got to find out.
Condom for your thumb.
Yeah. Google Bocciero Creations and see if we can buy the IP for.
Nice. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Oh, here's some more.
Okay.
I like the winner under 10 category. That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are some good ones.
I totally remember this issue. Maven distributing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
EA meets the NES in a long-awaited and eagerly anticipated announcement. Electronic Arts, the largest supplier of computer entertainment in the United States.
Oh, jeez.
Confirmed they have become a Nintendo licensee. The company plans for a fall release for their first NES product, Skate or Die 2.
We did it. That's awesome. EA getting on the NES.
Getting in on the Nintendo bandwagon. It's funny that this is 1990 and then EA is already the largest in North America.
And they're still having issues with Nintendo to this day.
Yeah, to this day, they're still having issues with Nintendo, and they're still probably one of the largest game distributors in North America. A litter of games for the Atari Lynx. Here's some new games coming out for the Lynx. Miss Pac-Man, Slime World, Clax. I like Clax. Paperboy, Rampage, Xenophobe, 3D Barrage, anything APB.
But not Breakout Recharged.
Yeah. NEC has announced that they've taken a minority equity position in CinemaWare Corporation. The leading cutting-edge
those companies exist.
Yeah. CinemaWare is currently developing titles such as It Came from the Desert using CD-ROM based video game technology.
There you go. With actually ahead of the game there,
yeah. With cinematic techniques, CinemaWare programs interactive movies on compact discs, interweaving storylines and in-depth characters. Okay, Ultimate Game Club.
Yeah, game
development. The game features digitized footage of live. I mean, wow, that's pretty forward thinking for that. I guess TurboGrafx would be releasing a CD peripheral shortly thereafter this.
True.
So,
and then you had the Sega CD a little bit after that.
Oh, look, it says, July. They're planning on releasing East Books 1 and 2 on CD.
Okay.
So, there's Red Alert on CD, Final Zone 2, Battle Royale, and Lords of the Rising Sun are coming out.
The first Battle Royale game. Yeah. Look at that. We found it.
Look that up.
Yeah.
Anything else? And then other news, if you want to watch some monster truck racing this summer, you'll likely see the Acclaim logo on some trucks. Ooh. Acclaim is acting as a sponsor for the Bigfoot truck. Okay. Cool, because I think there's a Bigfoot game coming out around Bigfoot racing. Refusal to develop. Oh, wait a minute. What? Acclaim has also been granted the right of first refusal to develop all WMS Industries, including Williams Electronics and Midway, for the NES, Game Boy, and Super Play. Man, video games were weird then. This fall, Activision will release a boxing title for the Game Boy called Heavyweight Championship Boxing. More on this soon. To clarify those of you who are confused, Capcom Company Limited of Japan has licensed titles such as Ghouls and Ghosts to Sega of America for development for the Sega Genesis. However, Capcom USA is not a third-party licensee for the Genesis and currently has no plans to make cartridge titles for anything other than Nintendo systems.
Exclusive. World exclusive.
And yet another newer licensee, Meldac, an acronym for Mitsubishi Electronics.
Oh, that was Mitsubishi.
Yeah. The Dark Ducks and Crown Records. So it's Mitsubishi, the Dark Ducks, and Crown Records. So that's what Meldak stands.
Okay.
And they're the ones that put out the hey, I forget how to pronounce the
whatever that was. Yeah.
Heineke Alien game.
Yeah.
Taxan has announced an agreement with Hasbro, and they're going to be releasing a G.I. Joe game, which turned out to be okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, at the annual American Video Association Awards, Tengen, who was named Manufacturer of the Year in 1989, beating out the likes of Sega, Sony, and Pioneer. To keep momentum going in 1990, Tengen is planning on releases of such big titles as Pac-Mania, Klax, and Hard Drivin'. The company currently makes software for the NES, the Genesis, and soon the TurboGrafx 16. Yes.
Electronic Games Expo. Look at that.
Oh, man. Experience the most complete cartridge and computer show ever.
The first E3 sponsored by GamePro. That's wild. Yes, I want more information.
Yes. November. Yes, I want more information on attending or on exhibiting. You're going into the game. You're going into GamePro and telling them for exhibition information, call that number. November 29th to December 2nd, 1990 at the Oakland Convention Center.
Wow.
Door prizes and free prize drawings at the Electronic Games Expo.
Wow.
Wait, what we got here? Oh, these are like the high scores that are always fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
Trade in your games.
Trade in.
Want a back issue? Want issue 2? You can get issue 2 for like $5 or something.
Nah.
There's the game service.
Game service. Yeah.
More ads. We're almost at the end here.
Yeah. Image.
There's RBI Baseball too. And I got it from retromaze.com.
Oh, that's cool.
Go there now. Great website. I use it all the time. I think we'll do this again sometime.
That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. So
very neat.
It's fun to. I think next time we'll do an EGM because they have they tended to focus on rumors a lot more than GamePro did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, EGM was great for rumors.
So I love and Quarterman, and all that good stuff.
Well, JJ, thanks for this nostalgia, this trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I don't even see any reviews. Like I saw pro views, but
it's the pro views. Yeah,
there was no scores or anything. It was just
Before
they didn't add the excited face.
I was gonna say. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll take a look next time. Until then, we're gonna start signing off here. We actually clocked in 2 hours, longer than if we had the other guys with us. Horrible.
I told you. You said it's gonna be a retro focused thing.
I unleashed the beast.
Believe me.
You can find JJ right there at _double_J. Look, you got it. Nice. Very nice. You can find me right. Oh, it's blurry, but I'm there.
Yeah, you're there somewhere. There it looks like it's blurring you out, so you're flipping off everyone while you're pointing.
Yeah, that's it. I'll just point up in front of this thing. You can find us at SideQuesting.com. Thank you to all the viewers. Playland was putting a bunch of stuff in there. A few other folks were leaving some comments too. Always a good time.
It helps the algorithm when you leave comments.
It really does. It really does. SideQuesting.com, at SideQuesting on Twitter and some socials, and then SideQuesting TV on Twitch and YouTube. That's it, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode of
the SideQuest. I cut you off.
That's all right. Cut me off.